Yes. Hey everyone, welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Roxanne. Today I'm going to talk about my journey with geraniums and overwintering them. The end of September, I went around and took a whole bunch of cuttings, and I stuck about 3 or 4 into each of these pots. They are under shop lights, nothing special, but they're blooming. I have to go around and pull all the flower buds off because I want them concentrating on their root development. I've just prepared a new bin of sterilized potting soil. I do that with hot boiling water and just kill off any eggs that may have gotten into this new bag of ProMix. I've also amended it with some extra perlite and a little bit of grit. Because of how big and healthy these plants were getting, I thought 3 and 4 plants per pot was going to be too much and that they'd be root bound. But as you're going to see here in a minute, as I'm unpotting these, I'm not seeing the roots that I thought were in there. And I'm also learning that geranium roots are nowhere near as thick as I thought they would be either. Maybe this is just because they're new roots. So I might be making a big mistake here, and I decided to divide them out and put them each into their own pots to grow on until March, maybe sooner. And then that happened. So there were a few like that I came across. They've put on new leaves, so I thought they had roots. That one didn't have any, and a few others that I discovered had like the tiniest of root, and it just amazed me that it was putting on so much leaf growth with no roots. That boggles my mind. Anyways, what I did was I decided to continue on with what I was doing, and the ones that didn't have any roots or teeny tiny roots, I just put them all together in one pot. So I got these cuttings from my neighbor who does hanging baskets around her porch every year. And so I want to give back to her for Mother's Day 6 baskets that she doesn't have to go out and buy. I attempted this last year, but it didn't go very well for many reasons. But I learned a lot doing that, so hopefully this year I will be successful. I will give her 6 baskets back, and I'll have a few extras for me as well. So I'm not going to water these for at least 7 days. The soil is already moist, and I had watered these 3 days prior to doing this. So they should be good for a bit. I know geraniums rot very easily, which was one of my mistakes last year, so I'm not going to overwater this year. The other way I'm saving them for the winter is I shook all the soil off and I took out any dead material and I put them in paper bags, and they're in the coolest part of my basement. It doesn't get terribly cold down there though, but out in the garage last year they froze. I think that's part of the problem why they didn't come back in the spring. So hopefully in March, when I pull them out and repot them up, they will flourish for me. And these are the 4 that didn't have much root, and we'll just see what happens. The other cuttings I have taken here are a beautiful fuchsia that my neighbor had. It had like super deep bluish purple fuchsia. It was just gorgeous. So I've got about 10 cuttings from that plant, And then I also have a pink one that she had last year. It was the only fuchsia that survived, but it didn't flourish until very late in the summer, and I've just continued to grow it on here in the house in the pot. And I have already taken cuttings from this and have successfully rooted them, so I'm hoping to have quite a few fuchsia plants to give her and to have for myself. I have ended up with 22 geranium cuttings, and they are now in their home here underneath the shop light. And these are also my succulent propagations that I've been working on. I think this will work. Hey, wind, go down.